All right, public safety meeting, February 6, 2023. Councilor Waltney.
Here.
Councilor Wolverton. Councilor Jones.
Here.
Councilor Nelms.
Here.
Councilor Harder.
Here.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to dispense the reading and approve of the minutes from the Public Safety Committee meeting January 23rd.
So moved.
Second.
Councilor Harden, Councilor Nelms. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it, 4-0. Old business 07-1222, request for consideration of a no parking ordinance during carpool, school drop-off, and pickup hours on Poinciana. I reached out to Merrick at the BOE right after we talked about this a month ago, I believe, just to engage on any questions or any concerns that they had heard from parents, or kind of issues that they had experienced. She reached out to the principal, and not being a Shades Cup parent, I'm drawing a blank, but what was reported back was basically that they have had an ongoing issue for a while, but primarily it is one residence that is causing the issue, and they did not think that signage would propose or would remedy the situation. So,
Okay, if we do that, do we have the right to give them a ticket?
I guess you could, yes. So, I wanted to go gather that information and then.
Is it near the intersection?
It's
Is it
it's
within 30 feet of that intersection?
not the intersection, but it's certainly in the way. There's no question, and it's purposeful.
It is purposeful.
Wait, is there a yellow curb right there?
No.
There's not, and I think that's what this was trying to establish, which I don't think you would yellow curb something that's a temporary no parking, like from 2:30 to 3:30.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain.
Yeah, I mean, you would just have to do it with signage, and then anticipate your complaint being, well, I didn't
What's
realize
the
this thing was there.
recommendation? I'm all for stopping this. What's the proposed recommendation?
President Wyatt?
Sounds like a.
You look like you want to weigh in.
Giving a ticket?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have any great ideas about how to solve this.
Armadillos.
Solution for everything. If you do a part-time no parking thing, then what do you do with cars that have been parked there before the window?
Yeah, that was my concern before. It's hard.
And so I don't know if there is a good solution, or a solution that solves everything. So it's really just sort of a situation of which problem do you want to deal with? Do you want to deal with the problem of the traffic? Do you want to deal with the problem of the cars that have been there? The neighbors that have parked out there for a long time and might be parked there outside of the window and their car's still there. Do you want to make it no parking all the time? And I don't think there's a solution that just sort of solves everything. It's really just kind of what we feel like is the best option available.
Okay.
And I did ask the question, have they reached out? And they said that they have reached out multiple times to all of the houses on that stretch, because I think there's only 5 or 6 that are in the affected area.
One of them's a teacher.
Yeah, I was gonna say, one's a teacher, so.
Well, that sounds like there's just one
There's just one
problem.
Yeah.
Is there? Don't we have a school zone?
We do.
Where
Yeah.
you can't use your cell phone and all that.
Yeah.
So, can we make no parking within the school zone?
But again, it's just,
But again,
how you gonna-
regulate if they do it before that time?
yeah, I mean,
All right, here comes the.
Because, I mean, the first situation I see popping up is like drop off in the morning. What if someone hasn't left from work and their car's there overnight? So it's just it's a logistical headache. I mean, I like the idea of solving the problem, but I don't know how I get there.
One of the other issues with enforcement, I would think, is people are parking there during the time while they're waiting to go through carpool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no question. You mean getting there early?
Yeah, there are people that get there early and park, which I'm not saying is a bad thing, but it is parking. So like I said, I don't know that there is a good solution here. I think it's ideally we would be able to or the board or the school or someone would be able to communicate effectively with the problem, the people who are causing the problem, but I don't know that that's possible either, so it doesn't sound like it is. It doesn't sound like they're willing to cooperate.
This is one we asked the principal to send them a letter, and that has not been effective.
There's that particular house has complained to the school about the noise coming from the field in the morning when the kids have PE. So.
They didn't know the school was there when
They had kids that went to school there. They have 3 kids that went to school there not that long ago.
Since the 20s.
Well, that's good, been there a long time.
19.
There might not have been nothing around
Their
that
kids went there.
building.
Their kids went there.
Well, I don't know if we don't have a clear recommendation.
I mean, I guess I don't have any issue with us, trying to passing some temporary no parking thing. Again, I just don't know that, it's gonna solve the problem, because if someone's parked there and they say, well, I parked there previously, then are we just gonna keep giving them tickets somehow? How are we gonna, that's the issue. It's not so much that, we're worried about giving people tickets that don't deserve them. It's more, I just don't know how you enforce the ticket once it's there. If they say, well, we parked there since 10 o'clock last night.
We have one example that has really been effective, and that is on Broadway. We're having people in the morning that were leaving Edgewood, headed north to Oxmoor, and they couldn't turn right because traffic was backing up. So we just put that one parking spot.
Correct.
You can't park here between
7 and 8.
seven, 8, or whatever it is.
Thank you for that.
And that took, I think that has been effective.
It's a huge
So you can now take a right. So why couldn't we do the same thing there? Just parking, no parking?
You can do the same thing. People weren't trying to get around that. What I'm saying is, if you want to try to get around what we're talking about, if you're determined to do that, well then how do you just not say, well, I parked there since 10 o'clock last night?
Well, and I think the bigger concern I have is that the people who come early and sit there, I mean, they're in a sense parking there too, and how are we going to discriminate against them versus the
Just makes
one who's-
enforcement. I don't disagree with you that if people will sort of follow the ordinance, then everything's fine, right? If people don't follow the ordinance, then I think we've got an enforcement issue. It's not that it's not worth a try, if you want to try it, but that's the issue. Is it's difficult to enforce if someone wants to
Randy?
be a problem.
You came on a good night.
Randy's like, and I'm out.
Yeah. Do you want to weigh in on that from the HPD standpoint?
I'll make the sign say whatever y'all want to say.
Yeah,
All right.
I know this is my item, and I put it on here at the request of, I think she's the PTO president this year, or she has been in the past, but I see what you're saying. I work on a college campus, and those kids do not care. I mean, they do not give a F. I mean, they do not care.
I say we drop it.
Is that a motion?
Yeah, move it.
I'll second it.
All right, so we have a motion to drop by Counselor Jones, second by Counselor Harden. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it, 4-0. Item is dropped. New business, 160123, request for additional street lighting and assessment for Parkside Court. Andy Nix, Counselor Jones. This item was dropped in finance. I would entertain the same motion
I'll
here.
make a motion to drop 160123.
Counselor Harden's motion. Counselor Nelms. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Item is dropped, 4-0. 170123, public hearing set for February 27th at 6 p.m. for consideration of condemnation of the dwelling structure at 1509 Beckham Drive. Wyatt Pugh, inspections and permits.
Yes, sir. Got some pictures here that were taken today. I don't know if you all, some of you are more familiar with this property than
Yes,
the others.
this property's been around for a while, the problem.
Yes.
It's a bunch of happened.
Is that a camera?
Basically sit in, you don't.
Yeah, you might have seen that. I put that picture of the camera on there to point out that at the abatement board, the owner's representative said that they have cameras in the house and they observed a raccoon in the kitchen at one point.
Why do they have the cameras?
And why'd they tell you that?
Why did they do something about it? They're the owners?
That was what I wondered myself, but. Yeah. But yeah, either way, raccoons can get in.
Wow.
I don't know what else can get in, but.
Anything that wants to, I'd say.
Condition of the house is, well, I don't really have to say a whole lot. The only picture that was not taken today was the one on the left there. That was a drone shot taken in August. You can see there are literal holes in the roof. That's not all of them, but water's just been getting in, and of course water absorbs moisture, so there's no telling how much rot. Yeah, rot and mold is present inside that structure. Beyond that, but there's,
Why did they fix it?
They haven't lived there since, if I may, in several years. They live in California, and I don't know if it was like right after I got on council, we had a meeting with them. You made a long distance phone call with them, and they said they were gonna do some things. They don't ever move the cars. They're 2 old broken down cars, but the thing that's gotten it back on, and in the process again, is the neighbors are trying to sell their house this last year, and they can't.
Wow.
Look at that flat
Wow.
tire.
They got Gerald the raccoon partaking up in
I mean, everybody, potential buyers.
They haven't been
want to know
paying their
what's
taxes.
Well, sure.
No, they've been
Yeah.
basically. And then
I just think it's odd that they
I thought they had been.
have
Mr. Pugh,
yes, sir.
did we not
What they were looking
enter
for.
this house at one point and remove, like, I thought there were animals living in it, we removed something.
exactly, yeah, that's right. The animal control was called here at one time, because there was some
Cats or
kind-
dogs
yeah,
living in it,
there were
something.
dogs.
And it was basically, you could smell the house from the street, it was so bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's terrible.
Yeah,
That's right. They had to,
I've also had a lot of complaints about this one as well from people that live close by.
Well, if they can
And so
afford it.
what's the problem with the abatement board? Are we just having to re-put it back to them?
I think they finally passed it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're
He's
setting it for a
finally-
public
he's coming
hearing.
to us from,
Yeah,
yeah,
from
the abatement board finally sent it out to council.
small miracles.
Without our Ward 5 rep involved?
So,
Looking for a
obviously,
motion to
yes, we're looking for a
Send out with
motion.
that recommendation pending the public hearing.
All right, Counselor Jones, the motion, with motion pending the public hearing. Is there a second?
Things I just don't understand. I wouldn't
No,
just-
second by Counselor Nouns. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it, 4-0. And public safety, if there's not any other items, all these are good, is adjourned.